Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Ajishafe. We just have to quickly look at those stories trending in the world of sport. Well, World Cup is really getting closer now. On Sunday, it will be happening live over there in Qatar. But before we talk about the World Cup, let's look at the NNL Super 4, where actually taking place in Bielsa State in Yenagoa precisely. Just a match was played yesterday, but Bende Insurance to face El Kanemi Warriors. Instead of two matches, they had to move one because El Kanemi Warriors came late for the fact that they will be jet lagged. They just have to push it for the next day. That's going to be happening today. El Kanemi, Bende Insurance, Doma United, not forgetting Bielsa United will all be fighting for honor in the Nigerian National League. To talk about who wins this year's NNL. Well, even though it's coming behind, we just have to do it to have a winner from the second tier of our football league. Right now, the battle is on over there. Bielsa United versus Bende Insurance, another one there. Well, that's the match that will also be coming up at the Samson Siasia Stadium in Yenagoa, Bielsa State. I have in the studio, Ibrahim Yusuf is here. Let's talk some sport.
Yes, let's talk sports. Adeni, always nice to be here.
Good one. At least, even though it's very, very late, we know it's late, but finally it's here.
Yes, better late than never.
Yes. So they'll be fighting for who wins the league for this year. Earlier on, we just have to look at, it was the flood, even before the flood, they say, but because of logistics, they had to shift it. Then rain came and stopped a vehicle from moving on the road.
Exactly.
Look at though even not the road, Bielsa State was flooded, so they couldn't hold the event. But now, finally, let's know the winner of the second tier league.
Yes, exactly. It's high time we actually knew it. I mean, they played throughout the whole season, and right now it's actually time. It's crunch time now, so for us to be able to find out. I was actually looking at the fixtures, and I saw Bendel Insurance and El Kanemi Warriors. I mean, like this could have been an MPFL.
Exactly. You know, gone are those days when you hear the two names.
Exactly. Back in the days, these were like top tier teams, and they could have been fighting it out in the top division. But right now they're in the second division. I think which makes it a little bit more competitive than it used to be, because you have some of these big names right there, and each and every one of these teams that actually makes it through, I think they truly deserve it. Came through the season absolutely fantastically, played very well, got some very good results, and I think to be here is an achievement in itself.
It's an achievement. So at least the four teams will be fighting for honors over there in Bielsa, the Samson Siasia Stadium, where they want to know who wins this edition. And it has been a while. Nigerians have been waiting to see who wins this, and maybe I'm looking at all this Super 4, Super 8, Super 6 or thereabout. I don't think it's too good for our football, really. Let's just play a straight league and forget about all this.
Yes, I think they're just trying to make things easier for themselves as the organizers of these things by
because
making
of distance at times.
Exactly, so that they can just have this thing done once and for all in a mini tournament format. I think that's why they do it. But just like you said, it's actually better for you to play out all your matches in the league format, get your points that you need to get, and at the end of the day, whoever wins, we know actually toiled and actually got there and made it through. Even when you look at it, even in England, when they do the playoffs, a lot of people actually have problems with the promotion playoffs, because you have a team that is actually maybe lying sixth, still with a chance to make it through, and the team that played the entire season and finished third could actually go out.
The playoff doesn't really work at times.
You understand? So that's the thing.
Clubs,
so it's not fair, because if I play the entire season and I come third at the end of the season, and then somebody comes sixth, and then we go to a playoff and then we play 2 games, and then that's the person that came sixth beats the person who comes third, and that's that.
So
all the efforts you put in throughout the entire season is actually, it doesn't really make sense. So a lot of people are actually kicking against things like this, ending leagues with these sorts of formats. So I think they should just have a straight one. Whoever wins wins at the end of the day.
It's very common. We have a bridge league, playoff, Super 4, Super Leagues, and all that. Really. I understand the fact that, well, they know that, okay, Nigeria, looking at the distance, insecurity and all that, for a team from El Kanemi to be going to Lagos to play,
it's going to be difficult.
It's difficult. So they have to, okay, let's take the northern...
let's do the conference thing.
Conference league. Not a Southern Conference League, and let's just, so that at least they'll be very close to one another. Exactly. But really, it's high time we have to just work on how to stop this. I still remember in the 80s, early 90s, and how Nigerian football was really at the best.
Exactly.
When you can easily enjoy our football. In fact, despite the fact that people follow European football, a lot of people don't really give much attention
Well, there wasn't really much access to European football back then.
Yes,
Really
it's
not much
only when you
attention.
read at the back of paper.
Exactly, not really much attention happening there. I believe a lot of people back then would have concentrated on a game between UNTL and Leventis United rather than...
Stationery stores.
Exactly, you understand, Abiola Beeps, rather than go and watch something else, all right? Back then when you had the ranch bees of this world.
Because this is what you can see. You can go to Ibadan and watch the upsuiting.
And you go to upsuiting, exactly. You go to the stadium. We used to go, when we were in Kaduna back then, we used to go and watch ranch bees play. You understand? When you have
a lot of
that were
things.
actually were privately owned, privately sponsored. That was when the league was at its best. But now you just have state-owned teams that come in there. When you have a governor who is a sports person, fine. If you don't have a governor that's a sports person,
the end of that club.
you probably get relegated at the end of the day. You understand? But really, I think we're going about it the wrong way. We're really going about it the wrong way. It goes to show the lack of money, the lack of investment that is actually in our game. Because if we had the money, if we had the investment, a team from Maiduguri will not be complaining of traveling, flying to
go
Lagos.
by air,
Exactly, or flying to Lagos to go and play their games. If we had that money, then that wouldn't be a problem, right? How much are we actually getting? How much are these teams actually getting for TV rights? If we are even selling TV rights for the MPFL, are we? We don't even know that. Even if we are selling, what exactly are we selling? With the condition of our pitches are actually in. We're not going to show matches that we're not really sure what's going to happen to the referee at the end of the game. You understand?
When the referee could be battered.
Exactly. You could actually be bushwhacked by a ladder. You don't know. So that's the thing. You won't show things like that. When there are going to be pitch invasions, players being harassed and all that. So we're not even sure what we're selling. We don't have a product. We can't market it. So we can't sell it. If we don't sell it, we won't get money. And without money, our league is still going to be where it is. That's why you have the Ethiopian League, Kenyan League, the Sudanese League.
Rwanda League.
They are coming up. You understand?
And I know the most painful thing is the fact that if you look at the way we follow foreign football, a lot of younger generations now don't even know, let me give you, if you look at the names of our club then, Udoji United, Calabar Rovers.
Exactly.
These were like, wow, nice name, lovely names. BBC Lions of Boko. That will actually make you to know about a particular town or city or wherever that team is situated.
Exactly, because you know that it's coming from a local place that you probably should know about.
And that actually makes, okay, you need to know much about Nigeria. If a particular team is coming from, the Bees, this particular team is in Ibadan, is in Onitsha, is in thereabout. It makes you to know history, geography, and all that. Aside the fact that you are actually talking about football.
Exactly.
But really, we need to do something about this. It's high time we get our football back to the mainframe. If Rwanda, Kenya, Zimbabwe, all these countries can get their league on the TV for people to see. You still don't understand what the problem is with Nigeria. We have everything, and right now we just have to get it right. Well, the NNL that actually took us to that, taking us back to the good old days where we were talking about all the teams that used to play Nigerian football. But now we have to get it right. NNL Super 4 is ongoing over there in Bayelsa State at the CRCS Stadium in Yenagua, where the 4 teams are fighting: Doma United, Bayelsa United, not forgetting Bende Insurance, and also El Kanemi Warriors. Those are the names that actually ring bell when you follow Nigerian football in 80s and 90s. You remember Saseo Dewege play for Bende Insurance?
Exactly, it plays for insurance, of course. And you know, those were the days when we actually got real serious talent coming in through the ranks. You understand? The Daniel Amokachis of this world coming in from playing 1, 2, 3 seasons in the professional league, coming up through the ranks and actually making it. Because back then the facilities were actually there, the environment was actually there for them to flourish. But now that is definitely not the case.
Well, we just have to move on now. Let's talk about Portugal versus Nigeria. A friendly will be coming up today over there at the stadium, Estadio Jose Alvalade, where they'll be fighting for honors. Pizarro charges Eagles to go all out for victory. I still don't understand this victory.
Well, I think it's just an ego thing, so that he can get something that he can put on his resume that I actually played a friendly with Portugal and I won. You understand? But I really, what difference will it make? It really won't make a difference. I mean, like serious nations are actually in the World Cup. We are here trying to play friendlies with Portugal.
Victory for if we defeat them 22-0.
It doesn't make any difference. Really, it won't make much of a difference.
We know on a normal good day.
Exactly.
Let's be sincere to ourselves. On a normal good day, even if we beat Portugal today, if they are to play a normal football. If they are not, because of World Cup now, they'll be very careful. They don't want to get injured.
It's a World Cup tune-up match.
We know it's going to be tough. Either we play draw, they beat us, or we beat them.
Exactly. It's really not a big deal, and mostly they just probably play some of their fringe players so that they can test them to see how match ready they actually are.
Ronaldo is not going to play.
Ronaldo is definitely he's not going to play. I mean, like, and I know a lot of the big names are definitely not going to play as well. Maybe we'll see one or two, but really the big names are not going to be there. They're just going to give the fringe players a little run out so that they can see how fit they actually are. But really, for Nigeria, no matter how good we actually are in this particular game, it doesn't make much of a difference for us. Well, also, we want to see our team in Qatar. Unfortunately, we will not.
We're not going.
We're not going.
Let's just take some solace in, at least let's enjoy our
There's no solace. There's no solace.
Okay, we've been looking at activities in the world of sport. Now let's talk about a particular story that has been going around for a while. Sven Erikson, a coach of high repute right now, accusing some NFF member of that time. Anyway, 2010 World Cup. That time that they were looking for the coach that would take. Eventually, the Piglax Lagerback that took us to that World Cup. But right now, he said he was asked to pay half of his salary to a particular account. And now, one of the NFF officials said, name NFF official that demanded bribe from you, Uchegbulam. That is, I mentioned Uchegbulam to Sven Erikson that he's lying. I don't know. This is getting worse now because Sonny Lulu was the NFF president then. He said, well, nobody asked him money. But now he has been asked to do what? To name the people.
No, the thing is,
that demanded for half of his salary.
If you actually listen to what he said, he's not saying that they didn't ask for the money. He's not saying that. He
wrote a book.
He wasn't saying that money was not asked from Sven Erikson. He's saying that the people that asked for the money were not in NFF.
Okay.
Were not members of the NFF board.
Could it have been a sham interview?
What he said was, when the time came that we wanted to go to the World Cup, a presidential task force was set up by the president then to oversee that particular thing. But the NFF was still there as a body on its own. He is saying the NFF board did not interview any foreign coach. That any foreign coach that was actually interviewed was interviewed by the presidential task force.
Automatically, two things could have happened. The presidential task force that interviewed Goran Erikson,
Erikson, exactly,
or the other NFF that interviewed.
You understand? So that's exactly.
We remember there was a particular time when some people actually acted as if it's the federal government that was selling an airplane to a company from Brazil. So automatically, who knows? Maybe the agent that connected Goran Erikson for the interview, it was a sham interview.
Maybe it could have happened like that. But the thing is, what he is saying, he's not really debunking that the money was asked for.
Okay, name them.
But he's saying that it was not NFF board members that actually requested for that money because it wasn't the NFF that held that interview.
Okay, it was the presidential task force.
It was probably the presidential task force, and if that was the case, then that's where the case lies. But as far as Erikson is concerned, he had an interview with the Nigerian FA.
And they demanded for half of his salary.
Whether it was presidential task force, whether it was a sham interview, whether it was senatorial task force, we don't care. That whether it was traffic task force, we don't care.
He came to Nigeria.
He came to Nigeria, he had an interview, and money was demanded from him. Can we dispute that?
Well, let's see. Maybe Erikson will reply by mentioning the names. I don't know. Maybe by that time he didn't have the time to know their names.
Exactly.
You understand? Because he was talking to
representatives of the FA. That's the thing.
He may not have the opportunity to know their names, so that could be very difficult.
Yeah.
But whatever happens, really, it's high time we just do something right in Nigeria. It's not right now. News came out that Pizarro is being owed. Pizarro that just came yesterday is being owed. Ganoro's case is there. We owed him after sacking him. We need to settle him. That one is there. The Nigerian players, even the players that play the matches,
are not being paid when due.
What's all this? We just hope that the new NFF, let's say that maybe under Ibrahim Gusso, something will be different right now. It seems from the body language, I've seen looking at it, seems he actually have good ambition. Let's see if that ambition turns to reality for Nigerian football development. From there, let's talk about Nigeria Olympic Committee setting up right now. The Board of Trustees was inaugurated, and we look at the fact that Nigeria Olympic Committee inaugurated new Board of Trustees. Let's look at the list of those trustees right now that have been set up because some actually passed on. Now they have to appoint new set of Ambassador Haruna Garba, Honorable Ayomidino, Dr. Lanre Globa, Mr. Jackson Bidel, Honorable Lumumba Da Ade, Suleiman Muazu, and Obia Sika. Those are the new member, the Board of Trustees for the Nigerian Olympic Committee. The election will be coming up in Jalingo, Taraba State, December, precisely in December, where the NOC will be having the executive election. But right now, the Board of Trustees has been set up to see into the affairs of NOC.
Well, it's all good. They should do the Board of Trustees and
after all, some of them died. So
they actually need a Board of Trustees, and they did that. But does that really, what bearing does that have on our Olympic teams? Because that is what we're looking at. I mean, like, if you're the Nigerian Olympic Committee, you need to find a situation whereby we need to know what preparations are we doing towards the next Olympic Games. We're not doing anything. That is what happens all the time.
I didn't hear what you said.
We're not doing anything. That is what happens all the time. We don't do anything. After every Olympic Games, we say, okay, fine, we went there, we got 3 bronze medals, we're going for gold now next season, next Olympic Games, we're going there and we're going to scatter everything. We're going to start preparations from day 1. We're going to start it. Then we come home and we go to sleep. Then when it's 3 months to the Olympics, that's when we'll start running from pillar to post, trying to organize Olympic teams and Olympic Games and whatnot. And we go there and then we fail, and then we start asking ourselves, how did we fail?
Okay, among this, you look at this particular list of Board of Trustees. Yes, well, maybe I know Honorable Ayomidino has been a supporter of women football in Nigeria. She actually done a lot trying to support football. In fact, there was a time she had a club. Dr. Larry Glover, Jackson Bidel, Obia Sika. Well, anyway, I just hope that...
No, these are guys that actually know what Nigerian sports is all about. You understand? And they know what needs to be done. Will they be heard? Will their advice be taken? Can they be able to influence what happens to our Olympic teams? Exactly. Will they be listened to the way we are? Because we all know what we need to do, but we never do it. We never do it.
But just so that we do it right, looking at the fact that the new Board of Trustees of that's NOC, and Nigeria Olympic Committee, has been set up and also inaugurated. And now we just roll out the list for you there. Where we just hope that the next Olympic that will be coming up in Paris, we do well, where we hope that we can have a better outing, winning more gold medal than any other medals there. Nigeria athletes are really doing so well, and we hope that they will transform that to the next Olympics that will be coming up in 2024. Now, well, looking at a particular, let's look at some of the results of friendly that was played. International friendly were played because of a lot of countries wants to fight to their team before the World Cup. Let's look at the result of the international friendly that was played. Saudi Arabia, they lost against Croatia in that game. Uzbekistan defeated Kazakhstan 2-0. And you have United Arab Emirates, that's UAE, against Argentina defeated UAE 5-0. Exactly. Just have to quickly, Cote d'Ivoire against Burundi. Andorra lost against Austria. Czech Republic against Faroe Island 5-0. You have Kosovo 2-2 against Armenia, 2-1 Azerbaijan, Moldova, and Oman. Germany pipped them 1-0 there. Looking at the other results, talking about the international friendly that we played, you have Poland, Chile 1-0, Turkey 2-1 against Scotland. You have Cyprus losing against Bulgaria. Liechtenstein against Gibraltar 2-0, or Algeria, Mali, as expected 1-1. It was a battle. 2-1 between Mexico and Sweden, and you have Italy defeating Albania 3-1. And you look at Argentina, they show their class. They were able to do well. Really, they've been touted as the World Cup team now, winning team. Even though I remember when they also touted them to win the World Cup. Was it in 2010 or 2014? 2014.
Exactly, 2014.
It was a different case.
And it didn't work out for them. But they played exceptionally well during that World Cup. It was absolutely fantastic. They went but they fell at the final hurdle. I think ever since Lionel Messi came into the Argentine national team, they always go to every tournament being one of the favorites to actually lift it. And I think a lot of people, for the sake of historical poetry, I like to call it that, will actually want Argentina to win this World Cup because it's probably Messi's last one. So they want him to actually go out on a high. That's for the for the Lionel Messi fans right now. And of course, well, for lots of neutrals and fans of football as well, they would want to see him ride out into the sunset with that World Cup on his shoulder. I think that is why it's more out of hope than anything that lots of people are thinking that Argentina can actually make this. Brazil are always favorites for every World Cup. Whenever it happens, no matter who they bring with them, they are always favorites to actually do that. We have very strong European teams. The Germans are actually there. France is actually there as well. So I think it's absolutely, it's going to be a very tight one. It's going to be very difficult. Whoever wins it will know that they've actually been through the ringer when it comes to this World Cup. Yes, Argentina are part of the favorites. Yeah, I don't think they are overwhelming favorites to actually win this. Yeah, but I think they come in as on the list of favorites. They're actually there as well.
Now we just have to quickly let's look at Manchester United and Ronaldo interview saga. It's becoming another thing right now. Manchester United remove a poster of Ronaldo from Old Trafford. I think it's becoming another issue right now.
Well, you see, the thing is, when a player comes out and voices out his frustrations like that, it goes to show a certain level of frustration. I mean, like Ronaldo, we all know Ronaldo wasn't happy at the beginning of the season. We all knew Ronaldo wanted to leave. Everybody knew. I think it was only Ten Hag that buried his head in the sand and didn't want to believe that Ronaldo wanted to go. Was it a question of them wanting to keep him because he felt he could have made a difference? But that's one thing. Could it have been that they did not receive any bids for Ronaldo during the summer? Maybe that could have also been the case. But everybody knew that Ronaldo wanted to leave, and just like you said, there's a certain level of stagnation when it comes to Manchester United. They seem to be bereft of ideas. They were jumping from one manager to the other. There's no clear project. You understand? Spending tons of money on players that they didn't really need, and the results were not even there for them. And he even touched on the issue of bringing in Ralph Rangnick, who's really, the guy is not a manager. He is not a manager. He's a director of football. And then you bring him in to become a manager and you expect things to be different. And even at that, there's no clear plan, there's no clear path. And he couldn't see it. For somebody who loves Manchester United, who's passionate about Manchester United, he wants to see the club grow. I don't think that Cristiano Ronaldo's interview came out of a place of hatred or not liking Manchester United, or he just wanted to put the club down. I believe it's coming from a place of someone who loves Manchester United, who has Manchester United in his heart and is frustrated with the level of development or lack thereof that is going on in Manchester United right now.
But when I saw this, I was like, is this actually needed?
Exactly. The first thing that comes to your mind is actually childish, unnecessary. You understand? Yes, a lot of people are saying that he's complaining like a petulant child, but you shouldn't act like a petulant child when a child is actually petulant.
Then one of them should be mature.
Exactly. Then someone should be the bigger man, and I believe Manchester United should have been the bigger person. It's okay, fine. You can't erase what Ronaldo has done for Manchester United.
So removing that poster, will it change? It doesn't change what he has said now.
And it doesn't remove what he has achieved for Manchester United. You can never deny that. No matter how much the management or the establishment of Manchester United wants to not like Ronaldo right now, they cannot be able to erase what he has done. Ronaldo is a Manchester United legend, take it or leave it. Whether you call him that or you don't call him that, whether you have a mural to celebrate him at Old Trafford, whether you don't have one, whether you have a statue of Ronaldo there, whether you don't have it, nobody is disputing the fact that Ronaldo is a Manchester United legend. They could have handled things differently, yes. Probably he shouldn't have said some of the things that he said, but I think he was pushed to the wall, he needed an outlet, and he just voiced out his frustrations. I keep saying this, I've said this before and I'll keep saying it again. They should have cut Ronaldo loose before the beginning of this season. No matter what it is, even if it is on a free transfer, let the guy go.
Well, we've been looking at Cristiano Ronaldo's issue with the Manchester United hierarchy and the entire club, the fans, the players, everything seems to be nosediving right now. But just yesterday, one of his posters were actually removed at Old Trafford. And well, from the way it is, some people are saying, well, it's not necessary. Why someone say, well, actually, after all, he attacked the club too, so they needed to do something towards that. Well, right now, Manchester United, Ronaldo's marriage seems to be actually breaking up because from the way it is, that player might not be coming back to that club after the World Cup. Well, we'll be looking at all these stories, and we just have to look at the fact that Super Eagles will be playing against Portugal today. We wish them all the best. Even though it's a friendly, we need to play for our pride. Talking about Super Eagles there. Well, Ibrahim Yusuf, no matter how it is, you're laughing, right? I saw you laughing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm in Nigeria. I know you are from Congo.
Oh, it doesn't matter where I'm from. You just said we're playing for pride, so let's play for pride.
Good one there, Ibrahim Yusuf, talking sport there. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.